In this video, we are going to cover why future stars could cause another foot market crash this weekend. As well as we're going to talk about how to protect your coin total and your team value. And towards the end, we'll kind of cover some last minute investments and my trading plan heading into future stars. If you guys do, of course, enjoy today's video and it helps you out, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up on it. Let's get into it. So, starting off, of course, with it all. Could future stars crash the market? Short answer is yes, I think it is going to. And here's a few reasons why. With future stars coming out, essentially what we're going to be getting is 20, 30 brand new alternatives to the cards that we already have. Being that it is future stars, all the players that we are going to be getting, which have already been leaked by the way, are cards that we have not seen yet on FIFA 22 with anything good. We're not going to be getting, other versions of Salah, Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. No, we're going to be getting, 30 brand new, people who have these boosted cards. So essentially what that does is it creates a lot of new alternatives onto the market. Not only that, but we're also going to be getting a ton of supply, which we've already seen, obviously, throughout the entirety of Team of the Year. But even just today, with the end of Team of the Year, we got a rare players pack plus, getting extra additional packs. We saw the same thing kind of happen with the 100Ks earlier today. So EA are not afraid to be throwing these packs at us. And I'm sure with future stars, a promo that might have even more hype than, say, Team of the Year is, of course, going to include that as well. Now, something that's way different, obviously, with future stars compared to what we have seen is the objectives, of course. And recently, we got the year in review objectives into the game, and obviously, it crashed a lot of promo cards that we had seen previously because, of course, rule breakers, signature signings, and winter wild cards are back. You can actually get them by doing these objectives, of course, which is something that nobody was expecting. Even though they're untradeable, what this does is it removes demand from the market. And what's going to happen is you're going to see this same thing happen with the objectives we're getting with future stars. Obviously, we have the whole token system coming out, but when those rewards do come out, that takes demand away from the market. And in return, this causes cards to start to drop down as nobody just wants to buy them. Especially if we get good cards like Conor Gallagher, for example. He's a really good card and he's free, which means that people are going to just go and use that card instead of buying a good center mid off the market. So with all that being said, when is the best time to start buying, obviously, for future stars? And for me, it's probably not until next weekend. I mean, you can always buy during lightning rounds and sell off during the weekend. Kind of what I've been doing with my teams. I've been kind of buying on these low points when the market comes down and then kind of selling Friday, Saturday nights. But for a permanent buy for your teams, it's not really a good idea. The only thing I would really suggest is going for low kind of supplied cards or staying just untradeable. For example, with this team of the group stage Mo Salah, I went over in yesterday's video talking about just trading with cards I love, and this is a card I love to trade with. You guys can see I bought this for $530. Lowest one on the market right now is $599, and it'll probably be $630, $650 later tonight when I do decide to sell him and just go ahead and pick up a smaller version of him. But trading with these cards is really useful. The same kind of thing with Fabinho, for example. This card's set at about $425, $440 right now on Xbox, and it's just because there's just low supply of him. So if you guys are going to use cards for your team, make sure it's not brand new cards that have a lot of supply in the market and are getting supplied a ton. Rather, make it these cards that are kind of low. And I guess the best time to buy a team it would really be after future stars, because after future stars I think the promos start to get a little dead, market kind of slows down a bit, and usually you'll start to see just a flat market for the next kind of couple months or so. Now, as I said, I do want to talk about some last minute investments, and our first one is going to be, I can't even really recommend Fodder because it's up so much from today's SBCs as well, or yesterday's SBCs with the 84 plus pick or whatever it is. We are getting so much content right now. But as you can see, with the cheapest players by rating, these cards are starting to just go up again. 86s are up at 14k, 85s are up a good amount. Some 84 much, so maybe during lightning that might be a good shout for you guys to kind of but high rated fodder is kind of just a no touch zone right now, although some of it has started to drop a little bit. Looking at cards like maybe Casemiro or Kimmich during lightning rounds or something, say on Friday, I think these guys might be good shouts again, and maybe Benzema, if he does come down a good amount. You guys know I love to trade with Benzema. Obviously, he went up a lot because he's out of packs. These cards obviously, are in packs right now. But these cards might not be a bad shout. One card that I actually do like a lot is Sadio Mane, and you guys could actually pick him up right now if you want to. It's because he's out of packs for team of the week. So since he's out of packs, he's going to do the same thing Benzema did if we get some crazy SBCs. He's going to rise up a ton. Now, he is a left winger card, which is not my favorite position to buy as far as fodder goes. I love Benzema a lot because he's a center forward. But Mane's not a horrible shout because there's just going to be no supply of him. If we go ahead and just take a look at Mane's supply on Xbox, you'll see there really isn't that much for the gold Mane. And him being out of packs for a whole week, I'm sure we're going to get some kind of explosive content, casino-like SBCs again from EA, but you can see here, his supply really is not that big. We're already at, 5 pages in, and all these cards are at like 49, 50k, so there's a lot of room for him to run. If we go ahead and just set this at 40k, for example, look at the supply we have on his card. Anything under 40k, there's like maybe a couple pages you could see here. Yeah, 3-4 pages of Sadio Mane on Xbox under 40k. One SBC, this card's gonna absolutely fly. So, I'm looking at cards like that are gonna be out of packs and stuff. Just taking a quick look at the team of the week. I don't want to do a whole big spiel on it because they're all kind of the same thing as far as high rated fodder goes. But any cards with low supply, you can do this literally any week. It doesn't have to be just for future stars. Like any week you see cards go out of packs, just go ahead and pick up the fodder cards. We saw it with Benzema. We saw it with some of these cards that are in the honorable mentions as well as far as SBC cards go. The only other card you could maybe do it with in this team of the week is Di Maria, which, by the way, this is by far the worst team of the week I've ever seen, but you could do it with that, for example. Now, my kind of game plan heading in is to do exactly what I've been doing, and that's just buying maybe players from my team or something, and just looking at these low supplied meta cards. Again, Salah, he does the same thing, and in yesterday I kind of talked about these buy zones. My buy zone for this Salah is always at 550k or less. If I ever see a card at that point, like late at night or something or during the day, I always just go ahead and buy it because I just know he's going to rebound up. His supply is just too limited right now, and he doesn't look like he's going to have any special cards coming in for at least the next 2-3 weeks, so this is a viable strategy to do. Same with kind of Rudiger as well. I've known that this Rudiger card, for example, I know he's got a brand new one, but he sits at 500k. That's very, very expensive. So with a card like this Rudiger, I know we hit like 190 or something the other day with supply, and he's back up to like 208 or so. But if, Friday comes, we see some panic on the market, and I see that this Rudiger card hits, a lower point, I'm going to go ahead and buy a couple under, say, like 190 or something. Maybe I can go ahead and try and snipe him because I just know he's going to rise up after. His supply is way too low on the market, because obviously his promo card came out back in, say, what was it, October? So obviously with limited supply means, when a little bit of demand comes in, he goes up. And not to mention, this Rudiger card has been one of the best cards in the game so far. I know there's better versions out now, but, he's a card that's super, super good still, even though he's not at the top tier. I could go on and on, of course, about, which cards are great to trade with as far as, low supply and stuff like that. And maybe this weekend we'll do a video on it. If you guys want that, drop a comment down below letting me know that. But that's really what I'm looking at. I think my game plan is really going to be wait until the supply comes out on the market. I'm expecting, full-on lightning rounds once again. We'll probably have some leaks about some SBCs and stuff like that. So again, I think fodder's probably your best shout as far as safe profits go. But if you want to run a little bit of risk, you don't want to wait, days on end for whatever to come out, go ahead and pick up some of those low supply kind of meta cards. And go ahead and, use them for your team or something. Sell on Friday night, sell on Saturday when the market's at a high. I'm sure there'll be a lot of well, actually, I don't think there'll be a lot of weekend league being played because the team of the week is so horrible. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people just playing games in general. So you might see the market kind of do well just because everyone's going to be trying to grind those objectives out in division rivals and squad battles so they can get their little player picks and stuff like that. And finally, guys, as I said, just try to be patient with this market. I would not be buying a team and then holding them in for weeks on end right now. I would really just be looking to flip cards quickly, get in and out of teams and stuff like that every weekend or so, and maybe just trying to play as much as untradeable as possible. I mean, half my team here is untradeable with, Virgil, Mendy, Lam, Mbappe, Diaby, And some of these other cards, Xavi, for example, I really only have like 4 tradable cards in my team. Yes, they're rather expensive, but you saw right at the beginning of the video, I bought this Abedi Pele like literally a week ago, and he's already dropped like 25k, which, you know, for one player, that's not bad. And I just like his card. He fits in the system that I play well, so I didn't mind taking the loss. But, you know, for somebody that has a full-on tradable team, you know, 25k times 11 players, it's 200k plus. So you got to be careful when, you know, you're trading with these cards. I mean, obviously with Rudiger and Salah and Fabinho, I kind of knew what I was doing with these cards because they're lower supplied. Of course, I didn't realize that I'd get a nice little dip opportunity when the objectives came out. But that's kind of what I've been doing, and I think you guys should kind of use the same mindset. You don't want to hold teams for super long. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of perspective from me here at the end of the video, and just kind of were made aware of what future stars really could do to the market, because like I said, it could get pretty bad pretty fast. If you guys want some more investments and just kind of everything you need to know about future stars, I got 3 videos up already about future stars. Check them out. They should all be on your screen. Thank you for watching. Drop a like on the video. I appreciate you guys. Till next time. Peace.